what happens during a life transition tells you everything that you need to know. I'm sure most of you have been in a life transition. You understand the perplexities that it comes with. You understand that you will lose people. You will also gain people. But it's not even about losing people. It's about how you view yourself in a life transition. That's basically what I'm going to share with you today. You can have many different kinds of transitions. That would be an emotional transition, a financial transition, a living transition. If you move somewhere else to a new home, possibly, then you are going to still be in transition. That doesn't change the matter of the fact that you're moving from one place to another and you're completing an old chapter of your life and moving on to the next chapter. That's essentially the point. Now, I've had an emotional transition in 2024 without even realizing it, because I thought it was just a change in dynamics, but no. Everything changed after I graduated in high school. 2024 is the year I graduated in high school. It's almost 2 years ago. I just can't believe that. And 2 years ago, I was still figuring myself out. But what happens is that life throws you unexpected curveballs. And it doesn't matter if you're ready or not, life is going to find a way to bring unpredictability into the table. And so what I felt at the time was emotional confusion. And I know that's not a term that people use a lot, but that's the best way to describe what I was feeling. Because all of my dynamics were changing right after high school. Mind you, the peak of my friendships were like at a high standard. And that standard was met because of the circumstances that was happening. And so I look back and I'm like, holy shit, I guess I made a lot of friends. And I did make a lot of friends. Transitions take that away though, because now you're just focusing on getting through the day. You're also focused on sorting things out so you can have a smooth and effective transition. So if you don't have a smooth transition, you're gonna be left in a messy place, and nobody wants that. Seriously, no one who's experiencing a transition wants that. And I'm gonna get to kind of the nitty-gritty of everything later on, but I'm gonna tell you what a life transition does and what it tells you, because it does tell you everything, and it does tell you everything about life. And I'll tell you through my own interpretations, and I'm open to hearing any other interpretations of other people's life transitions in the comments section. What a life transition tells you is, well, obviously who you're friends with. And if you're someone who's popular, if you're someone who's more selective, intentional, or observant, or if you're someone who's surface level, life transitions are still going to give information. That information is valuable and should not be ignored because they tell you exactly who your friends are. That's the first thing. And what happened in 2024 during my personal transition, experienced some social disasters that I won't get into. But I'll tell you, it was a mess. Everyone was bitter. I was bitter. And I had deep trouble understanding why the fuck these things were happening in my life. And it keeps replaying in my mind, even today, although I've had subtle moments now of these thoughts. And I'm just thinking, wow, I really survived a tough chapter. Of course it was a tough chapter. Nothing is easy after high school, especially if you're not ready for college or anything, or if you're taking a gap year. It tells you who exactly supports you and who's there for you. That's what I mean by friends. And I don't mean friends in the surface level context. I mean friends in the broader connection and broader ecosystem term. Another thing that life transitions teach you is you learn what you want and what you don't want. So let's say you transition through a job or something. Cool. You're transitioning into the next stage of your life, which is building financial stability. Now, depending on what job you have, you enter for the first 4 to 5 weeks. After 5+ weeks, you realize, hold on, this job isn't exactly what I want. And then you start thinking about switching another job. And this comes easy if you have enough experience. I don't know what kind of experience y'all have with jobs, but this is not going to be the first time that I'm talking about this, because this is a universal event. This is a universal feeling people have felt. What matters is what you know you want. And it shows in a transition, because then you start acting through agency. And agency is one of the most powerful things any human could handle. And I mean that sincerely. Agency is a powerful tool at your disposal on your toolkit, because it teaches you how to be independent. And that's the next thing transitions do. Transitions tell you your status on independence. You know, you can have high standards, but if your high standard isn't to be independent, then I think maybe there's something lacking direction. And I'll be a little vulnerable right now. Things are going great for me, but there's some bad habits that I allow myself to endure with that are holding me back sincerely. And I feel helpless sometimes because I don't know what to do, and I feel like I don't care enough. Deep down, I do. It's like my spirit is pushing for something that I gave up on a long time ago. And I'm in a transition too, because I don't know if I'll be dorming in college this year. I don't know if I'll keep this current job that I have, because I'm not planning to. And I found a second part-time job. I know this job that I have is the only job that can provide me paychecks for saving stuff, and obviously I'm going to save my own money. But those are the type of questions you start thinking about. And when you start thinking about them, when you start living your life on your own terms, and it doesn't matter if it's small or big, what matters is what the transition is providing you. You're building independence block by block, okay? This is what I want y'all to understand. No matter how big or small the goal is, if you're moving, that's better than staying still. Why? Because you're building independence. Like, I'm thinking about it too, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not the same person I was a year ago. Well, yeah, no shit, but that's because I'm moving somewhere. And it can get really overwhelming. A lot. It's not supposed to be easy, because life isn't on easy mode. But that's where transitions come in. And this is the fourth reason. The fourth thing, I should say, that transitions tell you. The fourth thing is that transitions stabilize your identity. If you've been in a place where your identity is weak, or if your identity is unstable, or if your identity has been manipulated by people, because I know that one's identity doesn't hide because of their own, because of their own mistakes. Sure, like overthinking and stuff, but everything internal comes from something external. No matter what you believe, like, I don't care if someone disagrees with me on this. I know this is the truth for my end and for people that I know. I know that something external has greatly affected them internally, where they started internalizing their whole fucking mind and going bonkers. This is the reality that they had to live, and I had to live this reality too. For 6 years, I had to live with internalizing, and you just get fed up. And transitions don't make it easier, but transitions surely provide the wrong paths that you're meant to go in, kind of like a door opening up, and you're just going straight in there, walking in, so that you can grow as a person. And it's going to take a lot of time, but that's what transitions do. They stabilize your identity in ways that you could have never imagined. And finally, transitions tell you everything about your routine. Again, probably not surprising, a no-brainer. I don't care. Transitions tell you everything about your routine, what you do, what you prioritize in the morning, what kind of schedule you have. Transitions give you that. By the time you complete a transition, not only will you have a routine, but you'll have movement, and your pace will be determined based on how you move in certain circumstances. And you learn that through life transitions. You don't learn that alone. You don't learn that alone at all. You have to go through something like a life transition in order to learn how to build an effective routine. Or the other option is you cut the slack and you build a routine. So there are two options. A lot of people go through the transition route, and I go through the transition route. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, it's such a crazy concept to think about, because life transitions are not what they seem. I don't think anyone in a TED Talk, they can provide their own interpretation of a life transition and get closer to the textbook definition. But the truth is, I don't think anyone is going to get close to the textbook definition of what a life transition is supposed to mean and how meaningful life transitions can be. You make your own meaning out of life transitions. And actually, that's the whole point of this video, is to find meaning and stuff. But all of the things that I provided are signs that tell you exactly what transitions can do to your life. That's why life transitions can tell you everything, from friends, from your routine, from self-worth, and even identity. And once you complete a transition, you'll realize that you're in a better place than you thought you were. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to hear what you believe about a life transition, what you believe about self-growth in terms of life transitions. I would love to hear your comments. I'll see you in the next video.